My name is Titilope Sonuga, and I am a poet, a writer, a performer, and I have dabbled in acting a little bit. I have written 2 collections of poetry. The first was called Down to Earth, which was self-published actually, but it went on to win the Canadian Authors Association Emerging Writer Award. My second was published in South Africa. It's a book called Abscess. And I don't know, I'm blessed to do what I do. I've had the opportunity to perform my work both across Nigeria and internationally. And I'm lucky to live and work as a writer and as a poet. So, I mean, I think there's something to be said about nodding to the greats and giving respect where it is due. And I think that it is great that we still, and even a testament to the work that we still study Shoyinka, that we still study Chinua Achebe, and we do that because the work is somewhat timeless. Of course, as a poet and a writer, you hope that you leave that kind of legacy in which people want to study your books in school. And I think, in my experience, particularly in spoken word, youth gravitate towards spoken word, performance poetry, because it speaks to their now and it speaks to their own generational interests. And so I think what has worked well in situations where I've had an opportunity to actually teach workshops in schools and facilitate workshops, I've realized that in order to get to a Shakespeare or a Wole Soyinka or to a Chinua Achebe, sometimes you need to give them a gateway drug, which oftentimes is spoken word poetry, something that feels like they can touch it, something that feels close to them in age or something. And so I think a lot of people are actually gravitating towards studying spoken word and studying the works of younger poets in their classrooms alongside the works of the greats. I don't think one negates the other, but I think definitely because of the exciting stuff that's happening in poetry of young people, it would be fantastic if it was also incorporated in the curriculum, but you have to pay your dues. What is my assessment of African literature? I think my assessment of African literature, if I were just looking at Ake Festival alone, is that it is multifaceted, it is exciting, it is rich, and there are a wide array of truly gifted storytellers that make you gasp when you read their work. There's something on the pulse of the way that Africans in particular tell their stories, whether they are here in Africa or outside of Africa. We have the gift, and I think it is exciting actually to be able to, like earlier this evening I was at the bookstore and people are clamoring in line to buy a book, and so when people say things about how, people don't read books anymore, I think that's false. I think literature on the continent is alive, and being here is a testament to that fact. This is my first Ake Festival, and so it's been a true gift. I feel like this festival is like a massive, if you're a kid in a candy store, this is like somebody putting you in a candy store where you can eat anything you want for an entire week or whatever it is. And so it's been particularly exciting to be here. My panel is tomorrow on Saturday, and it's a poetry panel as well as a performance. So I've had the luxury of actually just sitting and taking in everything that I have seen, and it's been particularly exciting getting to meet Chris Abani in person, somebody who I've loved his work. I got to hear Taye Selassie speak, and Yoshoguro and Pius, and so just sitting in on these panels and seeing these people who, a lot of them for me existed on the page, getting to watch them and listen to their opinions at panel discussions is particularly enriching because it gives you oftentimes the view behind the text, behind the writing, and so Ake has actually been a fantastic gift to me in that sense, and the networking opportunities are endless, and being able to sit down at dinner or lunch with somebody and converse with them is really quite cool. And it doesn't feel like it's the third year. It's the third year of Ake. It feels like it's like in its 10th year because I was telling someone earlier, it's such a well-oiled machine. Everything works, and the sessions are deep and meaningful, and the artists are well taken care of. You feel important and relevant and useful. So it's like a feast for an artist. I have loved every second of my time here.